What's up, you guys? It's Vallivon the Perfume Don back at you with another fragrance video. I am super excited. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite perfume notes, which happens to be rose. Rose is one of those notes that is super polarizing. I feel like either you really love rose, you're all in, or you absolutely despise rose. Hopefully today's video would change your mind or at least introduce you to some new fragrances that have rose in them that you otherwise wouldn't even pick up or try or sniff or anything like that. If you love fragrance, if you love smelling good, you're in the place to be. Go ahead, like this video to let me know that you like it. Comment below, let me know what's your favorite rose scent so we can kind of like swap ideas here. And then also go ahead and subscribe to this channel. All of my new videos that are coming up, I have some really good content letting you guys know about affordable fragrance faves. So without further ado, let's hop right in. So the first fragrance I want to share with you is actually a dupe, or I should say inspired. It is from a brand I've been working with for so long. This is Dossier. If you guys are unfamiliar Dossier is everywhere with good reason. So they're amazing. They have inspired scents, everything from Labo to designer scents, creed scents. They have such a wide range of fragrances. It is amazing. Everything is like, I want to say $29 to $49. You get the fragrance at a fraction of the price, and then also you can order risk-free. So the great thing about them is that they will ship the fragrance to you, test it out, even though they do smell exactly like the original fragrances. So if you've smelled those, then you know how it smells. But if you've never smelled it before, you just want to try it out. If you get it and you absolutely don't love it, you can definitely ship it back to them as long as you haven't, completely used the entire thing. You ship it back to them risk-free, and then you will get 100% of your money back. So that's super exciting. You don't have to be like cautious from ordering from some brand that you never heard of. And today, actually, one of their inspired scents is going to be the main star. We're going to be talking about their Labo Rose 31. I'm sure you've heard of the original fragrance, and again, this one is pretty much dead on. It is a woody, spicy, earthy kind of a rose scent, which makes it so unique. Usually, if you think of rose fragrances, you're probably going to think of something that smells like your grandmother's rose or something that's very mature. And even though I do feel like this fragrance, both the original one and this newer one, they're definitely for a more mature audience, but I wouldn't say this exclusively for a mature woman. I think that it is super unisex, and actually it is marketed as a unisex scent to where men would really like this, women would really like this because it has that woody, earthy tone to it. So it does have the cumin in there, which kind of tickles the nose and adds that spice. Of course, it has the rose in there as well, which is a very deep, I want to say like a winter rose. I definitely think that this fragrance leans a little bit more fall winter. And then it's also got a little bit more kick because it has that earthy, almost like a dried grass kind of a vetiver, like a spicy, earthy kind of a scent that vetiver has. It adds a little bit more depth. And then of course it's got some cedar in there. So back to the woodiness. So it's a very interesting scent. It's definitely, I don't think I've ever smelled anything that smells like this fragrance. So I'm happy to have the original one so I could spray on me, at home. But then when I go out, I like to carry the Dossier so I can kind of like touch up. That said, you don't need to, because this fragrance, the original one, definitely lasts over 24 hours. It is insane how long it lasts. But the Dossier one lasts pretty much just as long. I would say 6 to 8 hours, which is a full day wear for me. And that's something that I'm very excited about, especially for the price. So either one, if you want something that's like rose, but something you usually go for a little bit more spicy, woody, I would say check this one out. It's super unique, and it's the perfect combination of like a floral, woody, spicy scent. So love this one. So for the next fragrance, I would say this is like one of the most wearable scents ever. So this is Lancome A Doll. Of course, if I turn to the side, it literally disappears. Fun fact about it, if you didn't already know, they designed this bottle to be like the slimmest perfume container or perfume bottle of all time. So it's supposed to be extremely portable. It's supposed to be the kind of scent you can literally just pop in your bag, kind of like your cell phone, that sort of thing. But it makes it very easy to tote around, especially if you have it in this size, which I think is what? It is a 1 fluid ounce, I'm pretty sure. 25 milliliter. Actually, it's a 0.8 fluid ounce. So a very small bottle, but it's great, again, just to pour it around. So I love this fragrance because it has such a fresh interpretation of rose. And going back to the idea of like rose is for a very mature woman, this is the complete opposite of that. This is a fun, fruity, fresh kind of a rose scent. It actually leads, I want to say, with more of like the fruity notes. So when it first sprays, I want to say that it kind of has the opening of the YSL Mon Paris, that like fun, fruity pear opening. And then it dries down to more of like a fresh rose scent. It never gets super mature on me. And it's also not super robust, usually what you would think in a rose scent. So I think it's super wearable. I love wearing this one to the office. I think that is something that most people will like. I don't know if it really gets you compliments because it kind of sits tight to the skin. You can kind of spray a little bit more to kick it up, but it's always going to be like your quintessential fruity, floral, fresh scent. So great for spring, summer, day to night, if you're going on a date, if you're, again, going to the office. So many different places you could definitely wear this scent. I'm getting like whiffs on my arm. It smells so just like playful. Like this lady is playful, great for all ages. Again, it's got that fresh opening. It opens with the pear and the bergamot. Then in the middle notes is going to have that rose in there, but again, it's not a very mature rose. To round it out, it also has some jasmine in there, and then in the bottom notes, it's going to have some musk and some vanilla. So a slight sweetness, but just the perfect combination of slightly sweet, fresh, musky, fruity floral. So love that combination. Again, many people would really love this scent. And I actually love all the flankers that they came out with as well. The Intense, they also have the Aura, but I really like the OG for just like everyday wear. Check it out. We've been speaking a lot about a fragrance that kind of goes against the idea of what you think about rose scents. Now I have one that will reinforce everything you think about rose scent. So to me, this fragrance, which is called Fabulous Rose by Nino Amadeo, it is a niche fragrance house, and this rose fragrance is definitely for the mature side. I would say extremely feminine as well, so definitely for a mature woman. So it opens up with a very sharp citrus. It almost reminds me of like those fragrances from the 90s and the late 80s, almost like that. I guess every fragrance at that point kind of smelled the same, like chypre, fruity, floral, very sharp though, spicy kind of a scent. That's kind of what this essence happens to be. Again, it opens very sharp with a lot of different fruit. It has peach in there, which I think typically leans a little bit more mature. It also has a very sharp bergamot in there, as well as lemon and mandarin orange. Now, when it dries down a little bit and you get to the middle notes, that's when you start smelling the rose. It's also complemented by a few other florals that kind of like reinforces that mature side because it has like a powderiness to it. So it has iris in there, and then it also has jasmine as well. I think that the combination of jasmine and rose is always very mature. It's just like the powdery roseness just is always going to make you think of an elegant woman driving a Lincoln, okay? And then for the bottom notes, that's where you kind of get back into the idea of like the Dior Poisons, the original, or like even a Chanel No. 5, because it's got that spicy patchouli in the dry down. So again, I think that this is a very mature scent. I do think that it has decent performance. I would say that it's signature scent worthy because I feel like this is the kind of scent, even though I know a lot of people say this is false, but I feel like it's going to smell different, or different notes are really going to come out because there's so many different ones in here on different people. So again, if you really do like that idea of like a very mature rose, then this would be one that you probably don't have in your collection because it is so highly niche that maybe you would want to check out if you like the sound of that. Next, we have one that is very much so on the other side. So if you really, really like lighter, fresher, soapy kind of scents in general, and you just want like the smallest hint of rose, then I would suggest going with the body mist. And if it's a body mist, why not make it a hair mist? Because you know we love hair mists over here. So this one is from a brand called Soli Notes. I'm sure you've heard of them. I believe they are sold at Target or Target, which is like the new affordable perfume spot to be. So anyway, so this one is rose, just as we would imagine. But again, it's a hair and it's a body mist. It's complemented by, it also has lychee or lychee in there, which is kind of like a tropical fruity scent. But I have to be honest, this literally just smells super fresh. Like it literally just smells like soap and water with the smallest hint of rose in there. So if you're kind of like super delicate to scents, but you want to toy around with rose, or you work in a position to where you can't really wear a strong fragrance, then I definitely would suggest checking this one out. Other than that, it doesn't have much scent to it, so I have to be honest about that. It is alcohol free again, which is great because it is a hair mist. If you're unfamiliar, you never, ever, 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 I do, but don't be like me, be better than me. But you never want to put a fragrance that has alcohol in it on your hair. It's going to dry it out. And girl, we don't want to take our hair out in efforts of trying to make it smell amazing. So that's one benefit that is with this fragrance. And then also if you just want to like layer, because all of their scents are actually made to be layered with one another, or if you want to add like a slight rose on top of another fragrance, you can do it by wearing this body mist because it's very light, very, very subtle, but for that reason, great for layering. Okay, next we have, I think this is my favorite one. So I don't mean to like sway you or make you biased, but this is probably, if not one of my favorite fragrances of all time, definitely one of my favorite rose scents. So this is from Montal, or Montal, I don't know how you actually say it. Montal Paris, some of the best fragrances, period, poo. But this is no different. So this is Roses Musk. 3 notes in there. It says 3 notes would change your life. It has the rose, it has the jasmine, it has musk. It smells like it has a lot more, to be quite honest. It smells super sweet. It almost smells like a candied rose, which is so funny because they have another scent that is called candied rose. I'm pretty sure it does not smell like this. It smells like the candied rose should be called Roses Musk. And it smells like Roses Musk should be called Candied Rose because this smells like a candied rose. It's such a fun, jammy rose. It smells like there should be berries in there, like a purely ripe, juicy, naturally sweet berries. And this scent is what it smells like, combined with an amplified cloud of musky rose. Like, it is so beautiful. The projection is insane. Literally, you can wear this all day. People, you're gonna get so many compliments. I was afraid to wear this to work because I know it's so strong, and rose again is very polarizing. I really want to wear this to work, not for like compliments or anything, but just because I really enjoy this scent. But also it is so strong. But since it's like heating up outside, I'm like, I might have to do it. I might have to do it. But yeah, really love this scent. It is beautiful. You only need, if you just want to try it out, like the small bottle, because again, the performance is amazing, girl. It's all you need. You don't need to layer it or anything like that. If you wanted to add on something that's a little bit sweeter on top, I guess, but it's such a beautiful scent. The jammiest natural sweet rose of all time. I had this for a long time. I can like still hear, because you can't see through this bottle, which is kind of annoying. Whatever. How much do I have left? But I still can hear that I have a decent amount left. So this is actually one that I do repurchase, but all in all, it is a beautiful scent. Love it, and I'll always have it a part of my collection, and especially a part of my rose perfume collection. Okay, next, we also have another body mist, which I love. So this is from the Mix Bar. Set of Soli Notes, both sold at Target, so I'm making it easier on you. Everyone has a Target by them, except for my friends in Canada. I just learned that you guys do not have Target, and that scares me. I was like all about like, girl, I gotta get out of America, girl. I gotta go to Canada. But not if there's no Target. What do you do on the weekends? Do you have another store that is like Target? Like, what is your big box store? Or maybe you don't. Maybe you have like different boutiques. Let the girls know, because I'm very curious. But anywho, at Target, they have the Mix Bar, and this is called Glass Rose. And again, it's another hair and body mist. Really, really love this scent. It definitely smells like a sparkly kind of a rose scent to me. I think that it's also really good to layer, because even though it's a little bit more to it than the Soli Notes one, it is still pretty light. I wouldn't say that it's super fresh, but it's a light rose scent that's a little bit sparkly. So I like it. I think it's more date night flirtatious. Also, the Montal Roses and Musk is very much so date night flirtatious. Think cocktail dress, but this one, if you don't want to go all in, like if you don't need him to propose that night, you just want him to think about you a little bit more, then do the Mix Bar Glass Rose. And the great thing is that in Target, I think that they still have them all out to where you can kind of sniff and play. So if they have these still out at your Target, then go ahead, smell them. Let me know your thoughts. If you've smelled them, let me know what's your favorite Mix Bar scent. Comment below. Next, we have a Dolce Gabbana scent. This is one, honestly, I don't think I've ever reached for. I don't know why. I think that when I received it, it was maybe fall, winter, and then it kind of got buried in my collection, which is easy to do. So this is the rose scent from Dolce & Gabbana. It is so much of an aquatic rose kind of a scent. I think that it leans a little bit powdery, but it's like a combination of like a bouquet of different florals. It just happens to have more rose than any other floral. So if you're just like a floral lover in general, check this one out. It's got a background of the aquatic vibe, but it's definitely more so like a musky bouquet of flowers kind of a scent. So you definitely have to, I mean, obviously if you like rose scents, you like florals, but you definitely have to love a multitude of different flowers if you want to wear this fragrance. I think it's wonderful for spring, summer. I think that it is very feminine. The lasting power I don't think is that great. If you're trying to wear it somewhere that you're not supposed to have like a very robust fragrance on, then this is your girl. I do like it. It's not the kind of fragrance that is like, you'll never forget it or something like that. Like it's very forgettable. But for that reason, it's not going to offend anyone. Hopefully. Opens up with a fresh neroli and papaya flower, which is super unique in fragrances. In the middle notes is really when you get to the bouquet of florals, which of course you have the rose in there. There's two types of roses, regular rose and Turkish rose. You also have the narcissus. I almost said the narcissus. Woo! Girl, and then the water lily, okay? And that's what kind of has that aquatic vibe. And the dry down is going to be kind of like soft, creamy, with the floral because it has the sandalwood in there and the musk cashmere wood as well. Kind of takes the background, but that's like soft creaminess is definitely in the dry down as opposed to the bouquet. So that's what you're kind of left with. It's a beautiful scent. It's definitely very, I would say, feminine. Definitely a woman in a sundress, but not the most memorable. And then last we have your quintessential girly girl, I would like to say, rose fragrance. Of course, it is the Chloe EDP. Girl, this was that girl maybe like 10 years ago. She's been around now, but I really love this fragrance. I feel like it's an easy wear, and I feel like it's a great way to ease yourself into rose fragrances if you're younger, if you're like late teens, if you're in college. This was like my scent when I was in college, especially when I wanted to be classy, girl. Had a presentation or something like that. Then I loved Chloe EDP. It opens up with like a peony. I love peony. Please do more peony in fragrances. I love peony. It has like a natural soft sweetness. And it also has that lychee in there, or lychee. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's kind of like a tropical fruitiness, which is the great fruity floral combo that we all love so much. Of course, it has the rose in there, but it is a fresh kind of a rose. Again, not the most unique fragrance ever. I feel like that's because after this scent was done, so many other brands were like, that's a winner, let's copy that sort of DNA. So that's why it's not super unique anymore, but I feel like it's easy to gift, it's an easy wear, get you so many places, and it's signature scent worthy. So those are my picks for, I would say, the best rose fragrances in my collection. Please comment below. Let me know if you've tried any of these fragrances. What do you think of them? Do you love them? Do you hate them? What do you rate them? And then also let me know, what are some rose fragrances in your collection? I'm always looking to snag a few more. So comment below and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.